That was convicted felon Donald Trump telling us that somebody who is committing crimes should not be allowed to be the president of the United States. They shouldn't even be allowed to run for president of the United States, according to the man with 34 felony convictions against him. I mean, if that's not the ultimate hypocrisy, then I don't know what is. But this is the message that Donald Trump is obviously out there sending to his supporters. Kamala Harris is committing crimes. How horrible is that? You don't want a president that's committing crimes. Now, of course, he didn't actually list anything that was a crime, right? I mean, it's very obvious that Kamala Harris has not been out there committing crimes. Probably ever. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say she has probably never committed a felony in her lifetime. I don't know that for certain, but I'm willing to bet, based on her history, there's probably no felonies in that closet. Unlike Donald Trump, whose 34 felony convictions are, of course, very widely known. And if Kamala Harris allegedly committing crimes is a deal breaker, then Donald Trump should also have to drop out of the presidential race, right? I mean, you can't hold both those views. You can't think that Kamala Harris is committing crimes and therefore should drop out, and then Trump was convicted of committing crimes and he shouldn't drop out. But that is apparently what the people at that rally believe. But this is the gibberish, right? This is the nonsensical talk that we are going to get from Donald Trump. He doesn't have to back it up with evidence. His supporters don't want evidence. I was up against several of them in a segment on Piers Morgan earlier this week, and they actually got mad when I started listing statistics. They were like, oh my God, come on. Like, they literally reject facts. Facts make them sad, and they don't want to be sad. They want to be happy. And the only way for them to be happy is to live in this alternate reality that Donald Trump has created for them. That's where they're safe. That's where they're happy. That's where everything is coming up MAGA, right? And that, of course, is also the universe, this alternate universe, where Kamala Harris is somehow committing crimes. We don't know what those crimes are, but by God, Trump is certain that she is somehow committing them. Now, Trump has accused Kamala of being part of the so-called cover-up of President Biden's cognitive decline, something we have heard Republicans talking about for the last week and a half, right? Like, the doctor's covering it up, Democratic leaders are covering it up, Kamala's covering it up. Well, even during a House hearing this week with the director of the FBI, he was like, yeah, I haven't seen any of that. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I haven't seen it. Now, maybe that's just trying to play nice with the team you're on. Maybe he genuinely hasn't seen anything. I don't know. I'm not a part of his day-to-day life, so I can't tell you whether or not he's being honest. But I will say this. If Biden is in fact suffering from severe cognitive decline brought on by some kind of disease or illness, typically issues that affect the brain that would cause somebody to start making mistakes, they will initially go through a phase known as sundowning, which means for most of the day, they can be bright, alert, perfect, nothing wrong with them. And then towards the end of the day, as the sun goes down, they start to slip a little bit, right? They get confused. They don't know what's going on. They confuse names. It's hard for them to complete sentences. If you've ever had a family member that has gone through any kind of dementia or possibly even Alzheimer's, which I have, you see that in the early stages of the disease. Now, eventually, of course, it does get to the point where there is no more sundowning. It's just almost perpetually bad days. And that gets really sad. But again, none of the people around Biden have covered this up. And for the record, even if they did cover it up, it's not even a crime, as Donald Trump says. And beyond that, if that's not even what Trump is talking about, then I have no idea what he's talking about. Kamala Harris is not out there committing crimes. Donald Trump was. Donald Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts he faced in New York by a jury of his peers. So if he thinks people committing crimes disqualifies them from being president, then I look forward to watching him resign from the race. Hi everyone, this here is little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet, so please don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.